restrictions. I wanna have no restrictions. You turned and you walked away, came right back cause you wanted to.
What's up? It's your girl, Remy'D, and right now you are watching Popparotz TV. I got A.K.I.R with me right now, a very special guest. Let the people know how you doing.
I'm good, man. You know, just excited about to put out my sophomore record. So, you know, I've been waiting for this moment for a long time, just pushing really hard. You know, sometimes in the do-it-yourself space, it's a little overwhelming, but I'm glad to be here than anywhere else, you know?
Definitely, that's what's up. So you say you're putting out a sophomore project or a sophomore record?
Yeah.
And what's the title of that?
The name of the album is called The Plan.
Okay, so we're definitely going to look forward to that. I have right in my hand your EP, Focus. I definitely got a chance to hear some of those tracks. Let the people know like what really inspired you to do that and what makes this project different from your mixtapes, your albums, what makes it stand out.
Well, Focus originally started because I produce as well. So I have a clip called The Sound. And at that time we were trying to license different music to TV, radio, film, that type of thing, video games. And I was finding that they expected things that they call hip-hop to be really corny, you know, and so I lost a couple placements, so I'm making things that were quote-unquote too good or too real for that marketplace. So looking at that and then looking at what I was seeing on the radio in terms of what they considered, or what the powers that be consider a marketable, like urban, contemporary track that's a single, you know, whether it be party or for the streets or whatever, these archetypes and saying, you know, basically, you know, F both sides. Let me find my space.
Your lane, definitely.
You know, to make something that's applicable in both spaces. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's what Focus was about.
Nice, that's what's up. So it has 6 tracks on it. Which one is your favorite?
My favorite is Possess.
Okay. So what number is that?
Possess is number 3.
Number 3?
Yeah. See how you like.
Yes. Number 3. Make sure you go listen to that. Let the people know where they can find. Where can they listen to this? Or where can they hear it?
You can find everything on me at alwayskeepitrreal.com. You know, it's an acronym for my name, A.K.I.R. It's real easy to find.
Okay. Can you repeat what is that? What does the name mean again?
Always keep it real.
Always keep it real. That's what's up. So that's what it stands for. What inspired you? Where'd you get that idea from?
I mean, actually, I was just, you know, looking at all my friends who had tags and were involved in graffiti, and I wanted to get down, and I picked 4 letters, and they happened to look ill, so I was like, okay, started running with that, and that became my MC name as well. And then my man broke down the acronym for me one day, and, you know, I found it fitting. Everybody else found it fitting to my character, so, you know, I wear it as an honor, you know?
You said that you're doing your thing independently. Like, what keeps you motivated? Because I know the grind is hard. Like, you know, to have that support, that motivation, what really keeps you grounded and keeps you focused, right, so that you could keep on doing what you love to do?
Really, you know, not to sound cliche or what have you, but, you know, during this process of me making this album and the one coming up, I had a child. And more so than anything, he allowed me to find my space.
So you've been doing your thing for a minute. Let the people know like where you from, definitely, and just how long you've been grinding.
Well, you know, I'm a child of the village. You know, it takes a village to raise a child, so to speak. So I've lived with, you know, each of my parents individually, in single homes. I've lived with my grandparents, my aunties, my uncles, all that. So it's taken me from New York to New Jersey to Atlanta to Massachusetts to DC, and now I'm back in New York. But obviously New York is definitely my home.
Nice.
And you know, that's what I rap.
Does some of all the places that you've been come out in your music, you think?
Yeah, definitely. I think there's something special to it. You know, me growing up listening to Pac and then getting into his story and seeing how he moved around really helped me understand, you know, what that benefit is, because I'm able to now go into a new, like even in DC, let's say, you know, I've been in spaces where, you know, in
you
DC,
hear the go-go music.
yeah, but you know, that's a very volatile relationship between DC dudes and New York dudes based off the drug culture in the 80s.
Right.
So there was a lot of there's a lot of people that I met on both sides that wouldn't
Mess
talk
with the
to
next
each other
person.
at all. Would absolutely hate on each other.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I'll
Put
be
you
stuck
with
in the
that
middle of
bridge.
it. Exactly. You know what I mean? And they like, okay, well, if this dude is cool, then I can start to shed some
Right,
of
open
these
the doors for
ideas
other
of, yeah, you know what I mean? And I think in traveling in general, it opens you up to a space where you can find, you do more to find the things in common
Right.
than be defensive about the things that you have, you know, that are uncommon. So, yeah, I think it definitely shows forth in my music, because my music is based in unity and freedom and independence, and collaborative, you know, collaborative progress. So, you know, yeah, it definitely shows.
That's what's up. So you put out a lot of different projects. You have albums, you have mixtapes, you got your EP, you work on other things. What are some of the artists that you've had featured on some of your projects?
Let's see. J-Ro, the Alcoholics. Shabam Sadiq, Ines, Ali Vegas. I just did a joint. It wasn't on my album, but with Shah Stimuli. Let's see. Obviously, you know, my camp, Immortal Technique, Poison Pen, Diabolic, Swave Sever, Hassan Salam. Let's see who else I did a joint. I did a joint with Killer Mike, but we never released it.
Okay. I don't know how those go.
Foul March.
Nice.
Who else? You know, the list goes on, man. I've been blessed. Jean Grey. You know, so I definitely, you
Got
know,
a nice little catalog going on.
I'm happy about it. I'm happy that I could be in that type of company, you know, because I'm also a hip hop fan. So,
Right.
you know, it's like the balance between, like, you know, respecting that individual's talent and then being cool, not to like fan out and shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, oh shit, I did, yo, get me. You know, you gotta be cool. You gotta do that like at the bar and shit
Right.
afterwards. You know, like, yo, I fuck with your shit. You know?
That's what's up.
But yeah, and then production-wise, like, I had the Heatmakers on my first record, my first album. That was dope. I know them from Howard, and I've got my man Omen on this album. Let's see, who else did records? Most of the stuff, honestly, is crazy because a lot of people think that I'm just the MC.
Right.
You don't really know that I produced most of my records.
Wow.
You know, Southpaw, big shout out to Southpaw. He did a lot of my records as well. And now I have a clique called The Sound.
Okay.
So it's like a guild, so to speak, of artists, producers, musicians, actors, comedians.
Oh, wow.
Just very talented people that I've met in different walks of life that are all, you know, kind of at that burgeoning point, at that tipping point in their career.
Right.
So at different times we call on each other to collaborate.
Wow, so you like formed the guild yourself?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
yeah.
crazy.
So
That's major.
so it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool, and you know, one of my mans, Ty Steves, big shout out to Ty Steves. He just got a Grammy for the Lecrae album.
Nice.
You know, and he's been working with a whole bunch of superstars and whatnot. So my man Jesse Castro held me down, you know, helped me record and produce a lot of this stuff. So it's been really great.
That's what's up. So let me just ask you, you said that you've done like, you know, your own production. Where does that inspiration come from? How is it like to be, you know, a producer as well as an artist? Is that like more pressure you feel?
Well, the inspiration comes from not having shit. You know what I'm saying? So when you don't have it, and we all in the studio like, damn, you know, let's make a track. And the engineer's like, all right, well, where's the track? And then we like, damn, we just spent like $200 to be in this bitch, and we ain't got no music, you know? So that's how it started for me.
You know, that's a talent though, because everybody can't produce.
Yeah.
You know, that's like coming from inside.
I'm definitely blessed to have that ability. In terms of the duality of it all, it's like it's like polygamy.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It's like having two wives, and they both vying for attention. You know, one of them has like the intellect, and one of them got the vibe, and you like,
like
constantly,
how you put that.
you know, constantly in this thing, and you know, obviously they work together. Otherwise, I wouldn't have albums.
Right.
You know, but it'll compete for your time. You know?
Do you feel like a burden, or do you feel any pressure to kind of like carry on the tradition of what hip hop is and where it really started from?
I mean, I don't find it as a burden. Again, I feel like I'm lucky enough to know more about hip hop than I guess
The average.
well, I won't say the average hip hopper, but I would just say then kind of the generation that's coming up now. I thought it was really interesting. Like, I don't know, you remember seeing the Ice-T Soulja Boy like back and forth?
I remember something like that, but I thought it was kind of like off, like Ice-T, Soulja Boy, how they kind of going at each other.
Exactly, but basically, long story short, you know, like Ice-T was in his man's studio. I think they were just chilling, and they started having a conversation. He was like, "Oh, fuck that bubblegum shit, whatever." Which at first I was like, "Hell yeah, you know, fuck that bubblegum shit." But then
it's like a time and a place for everything.
Your man responded back, and in his response, as uneloquent as it may have been, you know what I'm saying? You know, him at 17, 18 years old was like, yo, I'm making this video from the house that I bought my family with this hip hop. You know, how dare you, who did the same thing, criticize me about the shit? If you really want to, you know, do something about it, then send me like a hip hop care package. You know, get in touch with my people, come visit me, take me out, and show me what hip hop is about. So on that side, I understood both sentiments. I say all that to say that for me, I think early on I was exposed to, you know, great lyrics and great hip hop music that formed part of my being. So I don't look at it as a burden, it's more of my makeup.
So we have your current project Focus. So we got what's coming up next. What else do you have cooking up in the pot? What else can we expect from you?
Well, next year will be the 10th anniversary of my first album. It was my first street album called Street Edition. So I'm looking forward to that. And you can definitely expect it to be different than both of these albums. Also, I've been working on an idea. I've been working on an idea that a couple people have kind of touched on since I haven't released it. But on some real shit, like, you know, I don't know if I can curse now. You know, on the real, like, I've started working on this next project that you're gonna hear about probably in 2007. So when you see it happen, you know it's not a jack move. You know what I'm saying? I got the email files to prove it. You know what I mean?
Building on it.
But I'm gonna do it in a different way, and I think people will like it. It's much more towards a world music perspective, so to speak.
Okay. That's something to look forward to. And you said you got some tours coming up?
Yeah. I'm touring with Immortal Technique and Brother Ali.
Okay.
And doing that, we'll also be doing Rock the Bells. So I'm excited about that. And you know, that was on the phone a little earlier. May have some things going on for Howard Homecoming, HU.
Okay,
you know, that's
HU,
my heart.
that's what's up. You went to Howard?
Yeah, I went to Howard.
Okay, my sister went to Howard. HU,
Bison.
the real HU, the real HU.
You already know. And I've been talking to Canada. Okay. So there's a lot of things.
So, you know, that's when we let you go. Can we hear like some bars, like a, you know, couple of hot 16s, something like that?
Okay. Alright, let me see what's appropriate. I got this joint called Bare Arms off the new album. And it features Swave 7. It goes a little something like this. Says, some nigga beat it up, shorty just like the freaking fuck. And now she trying to get the fetus up, the free week is up. It would be easier, so used to dudes leaving her. Change your mind and keeping them, didn't just academia. It only made him colder, sickle cell anemia. Running through the streets like he was held by a demon's clutch. And now she's pleading so his son don't have to see the judge. Attorney fees like 3 G's, hoping he's free to budge. But as she thinks he's easing up, beefing and leaves the club. See the bulge, increase the peace and release the snub. Cease to love, the beast will come quick to eat the young. It's right when his new seed is sprung. You never seen his son. That's when his season's done. The streets is never easing up. The seed is stuck believing up in TV and CDs and such. Another evil stunt to profit off a recent bluff from Caesar going seize the bucks, read it while he reads his stuff. feeding off a scene is rough. Goons will beat him up. Sad he deems it tough. Respect is only seen with guns. So he let his cannon spit. He couldn't handle it. Leans and trips, hit his damage, and here come the ambulance.
Paparazzi TV.
Paparazzi TV. I'm about to throw this Focus CD up in my V.
Paparazzi TV, tell them how to find y'all.
You can find me on Instagram, Red Remedy. You can find me on Twitter, Red_Remedy. Make sure y'all follow me, and make sure you go to www.gotred.com and check out that website. You heard?
Yeah. A.K.I.R, always keep it real. Rebel Arms, IGC, you know what I'm saying? You can check me out at alwayskeepireal.com for everything A.K.I.R. I'm out of here. Peace.
No restrictions. You turned and you walked away. Came right back cause you wanted to play. Hey, you wanna have no restrictions. I offer you no restrictions.